That's right. I don't want your sidewalk.
So I surfed it, man. The whole thing just weighs into me.
My phone, when I try to do the whole video thing at night, it doesn't have any like nighttime resolution settings. So it's just black, but it tells me to smile for the camera anyway. Uh,
I got my birthday back. You know, the town put me off. You know, because they operate off of money. But then, you know, they can't have their cake. It goes into reefer madness. You know, I studied myself, pharmaceuticals, but then they can't come back and say they have the rights to the. It doesn't work that way.
all right, now they're basically just taking money for taking money's purpose.
Huh?
As- I was surprised by how many services that they kept on sending me to. That
No,
are
really,
supposed
it's
to
like
help us.
just grabbing it and saying it's theirs or robbing somebody. It is fuck up on transmission. And you know what envisioning is? You know, they have to get out my envision because they're creating hell in my head by 5 gas cans. It's a warning. Shut the fucker off or I'll shut you down.
Yeah, when you said transmission, I think you were talking a different one than me, because as soon as you said transmission,
No,
I started
transmission is
thinking of a
that-
TH400.
Huh?
I said as soon as you said transmission, what went into my head is a TH400. You know, the turbo hydro went into a lot of like Chevy or not the Astra vans, but a lot of like Chevy vans.
Yeah.
The van I had one of them in it. Although I think that transmission would probably be better served hooked up to a straight six, and of course that's not what I had in my van.
I had a, what do we call it, a 231 straight six. I was a 80 Phoenix and a 360 there between Lyle and 27.
I'm not sure why this lighter won't work. I saw something the other day that I thought was about perfect for today's generation, though. If you bring back the stick shift, these kids won't be able to text and drive. And a lot of folks that are younger, they're like really afraid of stick shifts, which is funny because it's not like they're having to drive a Groflin shift or something
Yeah, but these
crazy
kids,
old like that.
these kids today, they don't know what there's no interpretation. You know, they think it's was theirs already.
You remember what the James Bond car is?
It's a Alfa Romero, wasn't it? No, Austin,
Yep.
huh?
Aston Martin,
Yes,
DB5 and DB6. They also, I guess, were going to put a DB8 in one of the movies too, but I don't know if they ever did so.
What's that?
The Aston Martin DB8. I think my favorite character out of all the James Bond series was probably Q. He was actually the only character that was in all of the Bond movies until he died. I haven't seen any of the new ones, but somebody told me the new Q is a woman.
What's that?
I said I haven't seen any of the new movies, but I was told the new Q is a woman, which is cool. I mean, M is a woman.
What?
M, from James Bond. That's part of when they made the movie Men in Black. That's part of what they set all that up on, where they give everybody a name like K and J and M and all that. Like they took that directly from James Bond.
What's the A, B, C, D, E, F, G hooked on phonics, but then it didn't work for them.
Yeah, they did it backwards. It's Z Y X W V U T S R Q P O N M L K J I H G F E D C B A. Do you know your ZYXs?
No. I know my A and Z on 2, T and H on 8, but then PB and J.
Well, everybody loves PB and J.
On 180. The 8 E.
Unless the peanut butter and jelly sandwich has been sitting in a friggin' lunch sack
Give it
for
back
half
to
the
the T
day.
for some power. Give it all back to the Z. On Z. Oh, I got some zeros. And then creating with zeros out the, group effort.
If I bring you some just regular white candles, they're just like that. They're just white and they're not scented. Would you use them? Like if I gave you 100 pack?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Not tonight, right?
Well, I wouldn't be bringing them over tonight. I'd have to dig them out. Make sure I didn't leave my light on in my car. I didn't. It's good. All right, so what were we looking up about Alaska?
No, they're. It's like a.
Town called Dillingham.
Yeah, but I don't want to use it. It's it doesn't. It's like makeshift. It's not real. But see, you can't move forward. They're.
Well, that app you're using on that
You
is
can't use my
a
head for a
knockoff,
fucking
knockoff Google app.
my head's not a tool for them to be using. Because I use my tool of the head, knocked them out in a way, but then they come back, wonder how I did it, and they can't, and they won't show themselves up in front of me. They're streaming it through the air. So execution, reality. I'm hearing you. I'm not crazy.
We're all crazy.
No.
Yes,
Every
human being is crazy.
I don't want to be alone, but then. Really? Well, they Hood River soon! Execution on streaming stupidity! Porn execution! Fraud! Moses, take him! Revert! Was this not a thought?
Reverting is difficult. It's difficult to pull out of too. Like
Everything's not one way!
when I get scared, I revert. I try to explain
I
it to
can't!
people.
I need to be a little, please.
Oh, you're good. Let me grab mine.
No, I mean, my first grandpa! You robbed a cemetery! Execution! Thinking! Fraud on Mormon Shelter! It's reality! Says arrest a bitch! There's grounding. Give me back my resume so I get the fuck out of this town. Let Burdell, Sever Living, the executed. Play their game. Kiss your ass goodbye. But there's a movie coming into you. Observation of her thought. Sign of light before sound. Then you're gonna be who fucked a pig on the internet? Or packing on a baby, Salt Lake. Like 3 months out, showing it. No grounds to walk. Sophie Smith, where's my penny on the bicycle? That's my grandpa's grandpa. Really? An embarrassment. And your pizza. 2 people. Seminary.
Embarrassment is the #1 reason for folks doing the stupid
You
stuff
get a
they do, in my
PhD in
opinion.
savagery. Fuck.
People can't handle being embarrassed.
Self-giving degrees in this town. Goddamn fucks. But you steal from me. You're draining my blood. That's from the main body. Out of state. Skip dinner. You moved from Oregon. All the way to Mom. 7 years. Oh, fear of the world to that 12. What year are you riding on? You got 2000. Wrong zodiac sign. Plus a 24-hour day. We're 9 months. Yeah, your wife's sad. Tell them to move the cemetery. Took the graves. Remember my dad never had a grave. He had to be buried squished between my grandma's feet.
Who's the lady you were listening to yesterday on the phone? The one who was singing?
This girl I looked up online after I met this other girl who looks just like her. They're being twins, but then they can't. And they have they're fucking puppies. Half human. Fuck. They have bad. Everything's up. Breastfeeding a baby. Malactation.
Well, it's definitely a lot different than what I listened
Oh, I have one. That's a son of Gary! No! Two fist! Accelerate! Get my knowledge back in my earth! Now!
Gaia Sanskrit.
What's a culinary degree?
This is a different song than you were listening to last time.
No fear of the world! It's not in the world! God never exists in your head in my head! Bad the cave! So there's no one quantum thing with this! My sidewalk surf! My eyes are open! What do you do? Steal a blind man's dog at Rosars? Where to go? Embarrassment! How about 30 your ass? Worldwide.
That's actually pretty relaxing.
Fuck. I had no communication with my parents. They cut me off. My family. Okay.
Tacoma. My dad lives in Tacoma. We don't talk. My mom lives in Idaho or Iowa. We don't talk. My little brother lives.
No, I'm the last. My family started smoking on the frontiers. Jimmy Frontier. American Indians. But the Mormons kill the fuckers. Accelerate. They lie. The Mormon Wars. 1835. 1760. Hades. The equator. You know I saw in my eyes. So you lost yours, right?
May I?
No, they ain't paying people to steal the one that makes sense. They fucking want to kill everybody. Slow things down. Turn around. Unravel your fuck. I'm trapped. But you need to come out of the bills.
This is the one you were listening to yesterday.
They know what Sanskrit is! They're for the cock of your daughters! My hands are yours! No comment on comments! My thoughts not released to you! Yahweh! Right? Dumb motherfuckers! Ten times $1,000, son! Plasma nuclear reactor! You have no plasma in your blood! It's not here! Dumb fucks! Well, see, I think you got her masters in organic chemistry!
Where'd you go to school?
Don't matter. School's every day.
Yes, sir.
Constantly learning.
As am I.
Done construction my whole life. They know what the job I had. There's one in the end. Go, leave, please. I don't want
Yes,
to
sir.
be listened to while I'm talking.
Oh, you're good.
No, it's just my life. After me, I'm the one that can have the one. The first president. In the world.
Well, I'll see you tomorrow
A
then. okay?
Bitcoin. Counterfeit money. They gave me $2 bills.
Good night, Dean.
I got water rights. Pay me back.
Exeth typed, is bro okay? He's overwhelmed. right now, one of the things he's been going off on, and he goes in and out. Right now, there's a thing where there's a lot of natives that don't have any water here, and he's been talking about that quite a bit. Tonight he's going off quite a bit, and it has a lot to do with sniffing rubber cement, but obviously he's not showing any signs of outward aggression towards me at all. He did say a couple of times that he wanted me to leave, and of course when I got up to leave, he wanted to flag me back, so I came back. But ultimately, I don't want to make him uncomfortable with my presence. If he wants to go off for a bit and listen to his music, that is his right, that is his residence, that is his place. There's another beer can. I don't get it. Not all of it, anyway. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I do understand. A lot of it, you have to try to read between the lines and understand the local situation and also previous conversations when he's got a little more together. Man, they really trashed my parking lot. I suppose I should probably point out that the yellow trash bag that's over there has been there for 3 weeks or longer. Obviously, I don't have any fear of hanging out with Dean, whether he's screaming or not screaming. Obviously, he brings me food. I bring him food. It's a mutually beneficial relationship. And another beer can. Fucking pigs. So, of course, in the morning, I get to walk around and pick up all the beer cans and hope that I don't get harassed for picking up beer cans. I doubt that I will. I mean, right now, I think the cops are kind of not wanting to talk to me or associate with me or come anywhere near me. It's cool enough now. Well, that's fucking bright. It's cool enough now that maybe my phone will work. I got it plugged into an external charger. If I'm able to get it to, I don't know, probably like 80% charge, I think I could probably try to. You have to have it charging in order for it to do the, God, what's it called? The backup thing. But once it's done the backup thing with the photos, then I can take them off of my device, and then I should have enough room for the updates. That's provided it'll actually allow me to do that, because it just seems to not like me. I've never been good with electronics. My dad wanted me to make porno sites for him when I lived with him in Washington State when I was 14 and 15 years old. That was back before they had all this really super cool stuff that apparently helps you to set it up in 20 minutes that I still don't know how to use. Back then it was HTML, hypertext markup link or some crap like that. I sucked at it. I remember a little bit, but I mean, really, we're so far advanced and so far past that. That was the 90s. That was the early and mid 90s, That was back when PCs were actually coming into their own. And looking back at that, those are basically dinosaurs. It's ancient technology. That's actually a good story too. When I moved from Washington State to Nebraska, my dad, I had hair down to the top of my buttocks. My dad would not allow me to leave the state of Washington and get on the airplane to go to Nebraska and Jesus, more fucking garbage. What the hell? Why are these guys so fucking nasty? Obviously, all this, there's a bunch of it. Obviously, this trash is, there's no possible way with the size of the homeless population here. There's no possible way that all that trash is from homeless people. There's no way that 4 different Dairy Queen boxes all came from homeless people, in addition to all the cups and everything else that is. Yeah, these are not the people who should be blamed for this. I mean, obviously, I've been picking up the parking lot for a while, and yeah, I put my own trash in those bags as well. But the majority of it is trash that I picked up there out of the parking lot. Matter of fact, the last time I went and picked up the parking lot, I was able to fill up an entire one of them paper bags that you get at Walmart. It cost you 10 cents a bag. So yeah, it cost me 10 cents. Cost me 10 cents to fill that up. And then of course I went down and threw that at the sorry, my mouth is dry. I want to say it was the Chevron station. I'm pretty sure it was. The Chevron station and the Shell station are right at the border, at the bridge crossing into Washington State, which is pretty cool. Neither one of them takes food stamps, so you gotta spend actual cash if you're not able to actually make the walk to someplace like Safeway or Walmart. It's a lot easier. Right now, I do have a little bit of a headache, but not too bad. It's fucking goddamn garbage monsters. What the hell is it with people in cars throwing shit on the side of the road? But it makes sense though. I mean, where the hell else are they gonna throw it away? There's no other place for them to throw away their garbage. I was able to, as I was walking earlier, I did notice that there's a trash can at the AutoZone when I was coming on my return trip back to the vehicle. And of course that's quite a ways away. That's about, I don't know, 3 times the distance as it is from the parking ride to, say, Pumpkin Pantry. Sorry about that. Pumpkin Pantry is a gas station in Chapel. I meant to say that Chevron and the Shell station and the Starbucks and all that, they're all in the same area. Now, I've made this walk a couple times. Jesus, fuck. Oh, there's a bottle of booze of some sort. Nope, we're not going to touch it, obviously. We can take care of that. God damn it. Oh. We can take care of that in the morning. Nobody else is going to do it. We got a lot of tourists coming through here right now. Of course, having homeless people out in the open during tourist season is one of the things that cops hate the most, because that's when they get a lot of pressure from the business owners. Business owners have money. If they got money and they got a business, they're probably part of several different organizations in town to make sure that all of the business owners protect each other's money. And part of that includes trying to run out homeless people or arrest them on bogus charges, so nobody sees them during sewer season. With the cops all heading this direction earlier, and I haven't seen any of them go back the other direction, I am kind of wondering where they all went. It's odd not to see well, 5 or 6 different instances of them pulling over the poorest looking car that they can find. And it is always somebody who, or nearly always, somebody who looks like they're driving a car from the early 2000s or earlier. It's usually older cars that they pull over because, you know, somebody who's got enough money for a brand new car might have the money for a civil lawyer. It's best not to violate the rights of someone who can afford a civil lawyer. So, of course, they're stuck with people that have multicolored bumpers because, well, there was an accident with that vehicle before and it was replaced with a aftermarket bumper, or, you know, things like that. My car, it's got a bunch of dings in it, it's got a rack on top. I'm one of those people where really the only reason they're gonna pull me over if they don't have to is to intentionally take my vehicle, which would be kind of dumb because that would basically guarantee that I'm going to have a non-stop panic attack for the rest of my life. The evidence that's in there can set me free, and not just me, but many others. It can help change the laws so that disabled people aren't victimized the way that we are. Someone calling themselves Molten Xanax typed, "Where's Dean at?" Alright, so if they're calling themselves Molten Xanax, that is probably one of the fake profiles of that character calling himself Rich Life of. And of course, it's probably going to be followed with some 666 stuff, or maybe some more comments about Ativan. That seems to be the popular MO with that individual. We've gotten to establish their profile quite effectively and quite proficiently over the last few years, haven't we? Let's see. Maybe Molten Xanax is not one of those fake profiles, and maybe they stopped watching already and got bored. Oh. Of course, we also got bugs starting to pop out. I saw 3 different spiders in my car, I want to say last night or the night before. I also, of course, had some stuff set up for today so I could try to turn in things against the police here, and somebody who's going to help me do it. And of course, the only thing that's YouTube. As far as trying to get anything done on my Facebook, I can share from YouTube, and that's it. So goes life. Or, what's the other saying? Life is what happens while you're busy making plans. Anyway, I don't have any money to buy anything down here. I just... a lot of anxiety, of course. Sitting with Dean for a little bit, you might not think that would calm me down a bit, but it actually does. I mean, his anger, it's not directed at me. When he's doing his yelling, he's yelling at the wall, he's not yelling at me. He did say a couple times, of course, he wants some space. And of course, anybody who watches my videos knows that if I can record it live, I'm going to. You know, you never know when you're going to be walking down the street and some child molester is going to try to hit you with his vehicle, slap your phone out of your hand so it breaks. You just never know. By the way, that child molester's name is Robert Franklin Mornick. He lives in Chapel, Nebraska, and he is on the Nebraska Sex Offender Registry for felony sexual assault against a child. As far as Dean's issues go, yeah, he's got them. Everybody's got issues. Everybody's got problems. But yeah, he's got a lot more problems than most of you. He wanted to yell about how he's worked construction his whole life. Most of us out here have a lot of construction experience. If we don't have construction experience, we got a lot of people with coal mining experience or, oh, more beer cans. Jesus. You'd think it was Mardi Gras. Except I'm not finding a bunch of anal beads all over the place. Alright, Port of Hood River and East Marina Way. So, this is the Chevron station, of course. Let me give you a quick tour of the area. This is my stomping grounds until about a week ago. Alright, so let's take a look. This is the intersection. Port of Hood River and East Marina Way. East Marina Way is the road here. That's the marina right over there. The Chevron station, that's where they close down at night, but the other one across the street stays open all night. Another can. I think that's actually a Barks root beer can, though. We can pick that up and toss it in the garbage and, of course, do our part, right? Yep, it is a Barks root beer. So, of course, we can actually throw that away, right? The folks at the Chevron station are pretty cool. They've helped me out a bit with directions. When we had the unseasonable snow, I basically hid out in the air part of the day because Starbucks was closed. But you can also see the proximity of all these places. Like this is the Shell station. This is where pretty much the only bathroom is at night. It's close enough to actually use. If you got diarrhea, though, you're not going to make it. But you can see the proximity. That's the Shell station. I'm standing actually in the very end of the driveway for Starbucks. Right there's the McDonald's. Right there's the Chevron. And right here, square in the center of all four of them, right there in the middle of the road. That is where I stopped, put my backpack down in the center of the road and started screaming at the top of my lungs for civilian oversight. For help. I was screaming about the human trafficking here. Screaming about how the homeless are treated, how the quote-unquote mentally ill are treated, and about the fact that Hood River Police Department are a bunch of fucking fuds. About how the lack of communication between them and the places that they keep sending me is not my fault. When somebody needs space or wants space, it's important to give it to them. With Dean, he's not trying to be a jerk to me. That's not his intent. He's not freaking out for my entertainment. I found a tobacco. Yeah. Thank you, Sarah. All right, so it's a pretty close area. Like I said, I'm a bonjour skateboarder. When I was younger, boarded a little bit, but I was never on a trick board like that. I always used a longboard. Anyway, the Port of Hood River, that's the crossing here. Ooh, another good one. Yeah! Got me some good cancers. Anyway, we'll get to the Port of Hood River crossing here. Like I said, it's all in close proximity. This over here is the toll bridge, of course. Prepaid tolls only, and what's the other one say? All transactions, Hood River Toll Bridge. Toll bridge, not troll bridge. And then right there is the marina headquarters, and then there's the marina down there. Those lights are just the other side of the boats, actually. You can't really see the boats because it's dark. There's an airplane right over there. It's a little seaplane, and they've got it on a little floating dock. Of course, white salmon is just the other side of the bridge there, I guess. My anxiety, of course, is not in any way, shape, or form at this current time the result of anything from Dean. Listening to him scream like that, I'm pretty used to that, actually. Not just out of Dean, but out of a lot of different people. If you think Dean is bad, have you ever stayed with a meth addict for 3 days straight while they're coming down? Basically locked up with him. That's scary because that's a lot more volatile. Dean was just yelling. That's to be expected. Oh, now this is some hobo garbage. We're gonna fess up to our shit, right? That is some hobo garbage. Sign that says anything helps. And that guy is going to come back tomorrow. He's going to sit in the same spot with his 2 dogs, and he's going to use that sign again. So, I mean, it's technically litter. It's still there. It's still something that he left there. He just... Well, I guess we shouldn't cross the road illegally, huh? I would have normally this time of night, but there's a red Ford Mustang that's driving across the road. What is that, like a 92, 93? And of course, we get the crosswalk says walk, so we walk. Yeah, and I'm not sure how many times I've given the tour. It's probably 2 or 3 times already, but looks different at night than during the day. It's a lot more peaceful at night. There's a lot less traffic at night. Of course, I'm wearing a hoodie and I'm sweating in it. I'm also feeling a little lightheaded, so I might sit down underneath these trees here or find something that I can lean against for a couple of minutes. I don't know, I gotta keep myself walking, keep myself talking. Keep recording until I get back to my vehicle. like I said, a lot of Hispanic folk up there, or up here. That was definitely not the kind of music that most Americans listen to. That doesn't mean none of them do, however. We're not messing around or playing around with stereotypes, are we? Well, we are. We definitely are. Stereotypes of the mentally ill, stereotypes of the homeless, stereotypes of brown people, stereotypes of white people, stereotypes of black people, stereotypes of gay people, stereotypes of straight people. Shit, we got a whole goddamn history of pretty much nothing but stereotypes. Alright, we got some garbage here. God. Well, one more spot to pick up. This one, definitely hobo garbage. This is where Jimmy slept last night, of course. And I'm not going to say this is all his garbage, because I don't know. What I do know is that nighttime is not the right time for picking it up. Especially if my phone's pretty close to dead. Alright, so here's a question I want to ask you guys, and well, ladies too, because it's not just men who are mechanics. Alright, so there's all these gasket rings, right? And they're all over the place in the road around here. And of course, we know these gaskets here are usually set between a couple of parts or a couple of pieces. There's a bunch of them, different sizes, different shapes. And now my question is, why is it that we got these gaskets all over the place, but we don't have the parts that they were attached to? How did the gasket get out in between those two parts? What part did it even come from? Sorry, I got an inquisitive mind. Nope. I'm actually not sorry for that. The more I learn about the world around me, the better off I'll be. When Dean said he was always learning, that made sense. So am I. Now you notice one of the parts where it set him off and kept him going. When he was wanting to say he's not crazy, and I said, we're all crazy. He didn't like that. He doesn't like being called crazy. Now the stuff that he's going through, he is actually going through. But he has a far larger issue with communicating it than I do. That doesn't make him a bad person. And it doesn't mean that he should be stuffed into an internment camp. There's nowhere for him to go. You guys, what are you going to do? You going to keep on punishing people for not having a place to go? Your solution is for people to move on, move on, move on, move on, move along, move along, move along, move along. How many cities and townships are there in the United States of America? And how many of them do we have to be told to move along in before we're allowed to take a stand? Before we're allowed to say enough is a fucking enough? You railroad us in the courts. You abuse the shit out of us on the streets. You blame us for all of your fucking problems, all of your insecurities, all of your stupidity, all of your ignorance. And of course, ignorance is the toughest one there because the root word is ignore. If you're ignoring it, you've made a choice. If you've made a choice to remain ignorant, you are no longer ignorant, you are an idiot. Congratulations, America. Wear that hat and wear it with pride. If I had a dunce cap for every American, well, I might just walk from one side of the country to the other like Johnny Appleseed, distributing them motherfuckers. Here you go. Like Jeff Foxworthy. Was it Jeff Foxworthy with the "here's your sign"? Here's your sign. Of course, we do have those signs, don't we? We know that when we see somebody walking up on us with a badge and a gun, this is somebody who has absolutely no fucking common sense. We know that when we see somebody with a badge and a gun, that it's more likely that they chose that position so that they could shoot somebody and take advantage of people easily, have somebody to bully, have somebody to take their insecurities out on. It's more likely that that is why they joined than it is that they joined because they wanted to help people and make the world a safer place. Because they're not. They're making it worse. And they're going out of their way to play stupid and go, oh, well, this is what the American people wanted. No, you're twisting it completely into something it ain't yet again. The American people asking for the police to be defunded, it's because you guys were playing fucking retarded to begin with. Oh. Rain. Also, there is the very familiar smell of a skunk. That is not a smell that I am used to smelling here. Nebraska, yeah, but not here. It's also dark. I'm on a walkway. I know that skunks can't exactly jump over a 6-inch wall. And this wall here is about 3 feet tall. So the skunk is on the walkway and I encounter it and I don't see it, I'm going to have a very bad night and possibly a bad few days after that. I don't smell it anymore. And the wind is coming from behind me. So he's... Nope. Alright, good. Sorry, there's right as I came around that tree there, the street light right here shining on that right there, and the shadow made me kind of, just the way that I had moved past it, it looked like it might have had some movement. In reality, it's just the way that the light hit it as I was walking past. Alright, I'm almost back to my vehicle. We already know that no crazy comments, no comments about being crazy. Those trigger him. So we're going to make sure that next time we speak to Dean, we steer clear of the triggers. If we activate the wrong trigger, he may go off and just keep going off. Might be difficult to pull him back. Now he also noticed that when he was going off, for most of the while he was going off, I was being patient and listening and waiting for something that I could try to... Well, I hate it when people do this to me, but to pull me off subject, or to pull him off subject. Bring him back, of course, to nostalgia in a happy place, but there's the insulting part of it. He feels insulted by the word crazy. So it's important for him to feel comfortable, for him not to be afraid of judgment, and not be afraid that I'm gonna call him in and have him locked up and have the key thrown away. He's not shown any outward aggression towards me whatsoever. Setting boundaries the way that he did, you may not agree with it, but I can see his perspective and I can see his point of view and I can feel his fear. And it comes from trying to put yourself in someone else's scary ass fucking shoes. Alright, more garbage. Jeez. They were busy today, huh? Anyway, normally Dean tries to get me to smoke with him, but I think I got him understanding now that I'm not some big ginormous pothead who can puff all day every day. Also, I don't want to admit this, but with the lack of police for, I want to say about 2 hours, there's been no police interaction, no police movement, no flashy lights, no nothing. So now I'm thinking to myself, I really hope that there's not some shootout in the Dalles and they all get blasted, because as angry as I am and as much as I rail out against those son of a bitches, I still want them to go home to their families. Just like soldiers, I don't agree with them, but I want them to be able to go home to their families. Also with Dean, he was wanting to speak about his family. And of course, you saw what I did. I tried to find common ground. You guys try to do that with me a lot. Find common ground. Well, with some people and some situations, yes, that's useful and effective. But when somebody is specifically coming to you because they're being abused and they need help stopping it, no, that's not going to be effective. That's not going to work. For him, having an extreme communication difficulty and adding to that difficulty with rubber cement, you see how that's not healthy, I hope. I hope there are no people who are watching this and thinking, oh, well, that sounds healthy. That sounds like something that would totally be number one on my health regimen, right up there with leg day and arm day. And yeah, no, it don't work that way. Like with a lot of my videos, I just try to keep talking until I get to where I need to go. It helps me to pretend like somebody might care someday eventually. And it takes the mind off my right foot hurting, especially. A lot of my heel and a lot of my ankle and my fucking back. Oh my God. I'm normally against walking anywhere without my backpack, but the last couple of days, it just... too many health issues. Also, when I went to Starbucks, I guess it was yesterday morning, wasn't it? Let's see what time it is. 12:41. Yeah, yesterday morning when I went to the Starbucks. I went in, I plugged in my fucking computer. I was getting ready to get started on trying to clear out stuff on it and figure out why it ain't working and erase a bunch of shit that's not needed and not necessary. I figured I'd cleared out enough room I could put a video game on it so I could have some downtime on my computer when I wanted, and that's obviously not a functional thing. I've always needed help with that shit, so for me to try to do that and to have issues and have it not work, that's not out of the ordinary. You see my YouTube channel, it's been up for years, and even being up for years, it's like the most rudimentary fucking thing out there. Anyway, I'm gonna try to get some sleep. I really am that exhausted. I did walk by Dean's I mean, not super close, but close enough to see if he was still yelling. He's not. And he was wanting to vent about his parents dying, about how his family won't talk to him. They basically just pretend he doesn't exist. That's very common. I mean, families, when you're the perfect kid and the golden boy, like, yeah, the family wants you. They want to invite you to all the family gatherings. They want to introduce you to people. They want to brag about how well you're doing at your new job or your new law firm or your new whatever the hell it happens to be. And then, of course, there's the rest of them that try to hide in the back room or forget to tell them. I'm glad my sister told me what happened to my grandma, by the way. My mom wouldn't have let me know. My mom was pissed off I went to Grandma's funeral. There's a reason I went to Grandma's funeral, but I didn't go to Grandpa's. And yes, here's our first emergency vehicle coming back from whatever happened. It's the one ambulance that we saw. All the rest of them were sheriff's vehicles and Oregon State Patrol and Sheriff's Department vehicles. All right, so I've been rambling long enough, and this one is obviously one of my tired rants, so it's just words on top of words on top of words. Good to be rid of you. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. And remember, you are your brother's keeper.